So I'll start by welcoming everyone and thanking you so much for tuning into Rove's first ever office hours. I'm going to start by introducing myself because majority of people likely do not know who I am. My name is Lauren Faulkner. I am Rove's member support specialist. I have over a decade of experience in customer service, and that's across a variety of professions. And I'm thrilled about my role at Rove, which functions almost like the intersection of my two passions, which are obviously travel and also providing an exceptional experience to our members. And I've been excited about Rove long before having the opportunity to work here. And I know that a lot of you likely share that excitement. So to tell you a little bit more about office hours, basically they're going to be live streaming sessions that we'll be holding twice a month, where we essentially discuss everything Rove with topics ranging from the basics like today to deep dives and everything in between. Luckily for me, Rove is always coming out with new and exciting things to generate conversation about, so I am sure that we will never run out of topics. Not only will they function as an opportunity to learn or refresh your knowledge, but we also want to give our members the chance to ask questions or get clarification on anything that you're unsure about. We essentially just want to hear from you. So if you have ideas for topics that you want to see covered in future sessions, we want to hear those too. You can pop them in the chat. If you're not already on the Rove Insiders Facebook community, then I would encourage you to participate there as well. Many of you already know Carissa. I will quickly share that we actually met just over 2 years ago at TravelCon in Portland. That was May 2024.
Yeah.
And it's a fact that I think is pretty fun that we met at TravelCon a couple years ago, and fast forward to today, we're both working at Rove. It is a small and funny world. With that preface, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Steve, it is happy hour time. Unfortunately, I'm drinking Splash carbonated water, but I do think it is happy hour time. So like Lauren said, hopefully, or I think probably a lot of you guys know me at this point. I've been, at every meetup ever. But this is sort of our idea of a more formalized Q&A. We've done these lives, and I've done lives a million times, but this is something that's meant to be sort of evergreen. We're starting with a 101 just to make sure that we have all our bases covered. And then, being able to let it live on our YouTube, which we're going to be posting these too. And just because we get a lot of questions tutorial wise, how do I do this? How do I maximize this? What's the best way to do this? And so this is meant to sort of answer that. And then obviously if anyone has any questions to talk about that, maybe share upcoming features if we have any, et cetera, things like that. So, and about me. Yeah, I work at Rove. I'm the director of travel and marketing and have been at the company a little over a year, and I love it. And I know you guys do too. So.
Here.
Yeah.
So as Carissa said, today's topic is Rove 101. So we're just soft launching, as they say, with the fundamentals of Rove. And at the end, we'll open up the floor for questions. So if you do have questions in the meantime, please put them in the chat as well. Okay, so let's get started. For those who don't know, we'll start with the very bone basics. Rove is a travel rewards program, similar to programs like American Express membership rewards, Capital One Miles, City Thank You Points, etc., in that it's flexible. Rove miles do not expire, and they can be redeemed in a number of ways. That includes on flights, on hotels, and you can also transfer your Rove miles to one of the many loyalty programs that we're partnered with. So we have 20 transfer partners currently, including 19 different airline programs and one hotel. What's unique about Rove is that we have no credit card, so that's very different from other rewards programs. You can sign up just for free on our website with a phone number, and you can start earning miles right away through purchases on flights, on hotels, or everyday shopping. And you can do that through Rove Shopping, which is the portal on our website, or you can do that through our Chrome extension. We have more than 13,000 merchants, and to put that into perspective, our closest competitor is Rakuten, who has 3,000. So that's a pretty huge difference. And whatever it is you're purchasing, whether it's shopping or if it's travel, you can then pay using your preferred credit card and stack rewards on top of the Rove miles that you earn. But again, for those who aren't in the points and miles community, maybe who don't have a travel credit card or a credit card for whatever reason, maybe they don't want the annual fees. For a lot of people that I've spoken to, maybe they find the whole points and miles things a little too complex, or maybe they have bad credit, or they're young with no credit yet to speak of. So Rove opens the doors to anyone who's wanting to earn transferable travel rewards without needing a credit card to get started. But most of us, know that having a good travel credit card, or 2 or 20 or 50, is a huge bonus.
I also just want to say that, Lauren, hearing you talk about Rove, I think anyone who's attended like a few of my lives or anything like that, I feel like a proud like mother hearing you do the comparisons with like Rakuten, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, that's amazing, because this is, it's a lot of the same things that I say, like, the same points I like to make. Like, we have more merchants, and and we continue to add and grow, where I think, like, sure, Rakuten is, they're stagnant in their stores and they're growing in certain ways, and like, having, for example, Built added as a partner. But I think the rate at what we're growing and the clip at which we're growing, it's just not equivalent. But yeah, I'm happy to hear you. I don't know. I feel very proud. So yeah,
learned it from the best. And also, to your point, like, I obviously consume a lot of Points and Miles podcast content as well. And I have heard you say, I think, that, when you started, you didn't have it quite as easy because there was some questions about Rove's legitimacy, but now we are very well established and well trusted. And so I think those comparisons mean a lot
these
more
days.
now as well. I'm going to just start with a quick walkthrough of the homepage here. So I'm being welcomed back. My miles balance is exposed. When I scroll down a little here, front and center, you'll notice this banner, which is showing off our newest transfer partner, Qantas. There's a limited time offer, as you can see here, of 50% bonus miles when you transfer to Qantas, and that's valid through August 14th. So that bonus means, in simple math, you can turn 1,000 Rove miles into 1,500 Qantas points, or 2,000 Rove miles into 3,000 Qantas points, etc. And then scrolling down more, you'll see you can toggle between top shopping offers, my shopping trips, which I have a couple clicks, nothing pending, and I'll go over that soon. Highlight reel of hotels under this Earn Miles on hotel bookings. You can keep an eye on this for some exciting opportunities, and then also more miles redemption opportunities on flights and hotels. And then scrolling further down here, you can see our transfer partners. This is just a preview of the first 4, but to see all 20, you can hit see all and transfer as you choose. We have our latest
Who are all those
blog
great
articles.
writers? Who are they?
It's just alternating back and forth between us.
It looks like they know what they're doing.
Love to see that. And then at the bottom here, you can find how to contact us by email, where to find us on socials. If you have any concerns or just want to know more about our terms, our privacy policy, that's all here. And then to see all of our blog posts, you can click there. To access our shopping extension here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Help
I'm actually
Center.
really glad we were already planning on doing that, but I just wanted to sort of interject and say, because we get so many questions, and our blog is like, we're filling out the blog, but it's not full. But we get a lot of questions on how to use Rove and like timelines for things, and they all live in the Help Center. I think it's maybe not as front and center as I would have liked. But yeah, I'm glad that you're bringing it up so that you can kind of show everybody what's going on with it. Yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of useful information that will occupy the entire length of this seminar if I
Yeah.
get too into it, which I won't. But I mostly, like you said, just wanted to draw attention to the fact that pretty much all the information that you would be looking for at any given
You
point
found.
can
Yeah.
be answered here. So, like, what are Rove miles? How to earn and redeem them? If you have questions about referral miles, you can find those here. How to cancel bookings, all about Rove shopping, how transfer partners work. This help center is constantly going to be evolving as well because Rove is constantly evolving. So keep checking back here if there's something new that you'd like to hear more about. And like I said, we'll be doing deeper dives on a lot of these topics in future office hours. But for today, I just wanted to point out that useful resource. And again, if you do have questions or topic ideas for future sessions, we want to hear from you. So please do share those with us. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening up the flights page. So on the left here, you can see some of the best cash flights or miles redemption opportunities. The rest of the page is this interactive map where you can explore some of those flight deals that are currently available. And the default is economy, but you can adjust so you're viewing just premium or business or first class. And if you hit this arrow in the top right, it will recenter the map to your location. And there's me in Toronto. Not for long, but for now.
She's
I
moving
say
to New
that
York.
because I will, this fall,
Team Rove.
yes, moving to New York. I do have New York on the mind, so why don't I use that in my example of how you're gonna search for flights. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Once you hover over this bar here, you'll see the option to change your trip to a round trip if you'd like. The default is one-way passengers. Your default airport is the one, like you're prompted at sign up, I believe, to enter that. And then the destination to anywhere. So if you're flexible and you just want to look at what's out there, if you click on that, it'll open up a number of different kind of vague destinations that you can explore. But again, for this example, let's say we're going to New York, and I'm not too picky, so any airport will do. Once the results load here, the default again is that it's going to pull up results based on the cheapest cash flights. If you're flexible within a few days, you can see the cheapest options for the week around the date that I selected. So this is a great way to see other options and potentially save a few dollars. But if you're even more flexible, if you hit where it said expand calendar in the corner here, you can see those cheapest cash options for the entire month. And then we'll collapse that view. You can tailor your results as you prefer. So you can change it to cheapest flights sorted by miles or the fastest flight. And then you can also more precisely filter. We can choose to see transfer bookings only, which filters results so you see only flights that can be booked transferring Rove miles to an airline loyalty program. So through one of our transfer partners, rather than booking the flight directly through Rove. I will just quickly speak to that. Rove is an unlocked and completely free live award search engine. So we show all of the cash searches and direct booking redemption costs and transfer partner costs for all cabin types in a single search. And that is otherwise unheard of. So the only limitation is that we only show our own transfer partners. But it's a pretty amazing feature, especially for programs like Miles and More, which require you to
In your
have
account.
1,500 miles in your account in order to search on the website, whereas we
I also
let you do that for
want to
free.
say, and
So
I know that you're already saying it's unheard of, but like to toot our own horn a little bit more, and I know I might be, preaching to the choir, but when we're talking about award search tools, you have the ability oftentimes to search for free, for award flights from different aggregators, but a lot of them will only search like one day at a time, or they'll only show you the top one or two results, or it'll only be to a certain number of days in advance. Whereas, although we require a phone number and, you have to sign up for a free account, we do just completely unlock it. There's no restrictions once you have an account. That's pretty cool. Lauren, Steve says, can you demonstrate the loyalty programs and airlines in the filter? Here.
Yes, I will do an example of that. I mean, everyone has eyes, but you can further tailor your trip to show number of stops or direct flights only. As for loyalty programs or specific airlines, I will use a different example for that. You can tailor by times, departure or arrival, and then price range by cash or miles. Okay, so since we talked about miles and more, I'm going to use Frankfurt to London as an example. And we're going to change our search up a little bit here. First, I'll just quickly preface, if you're transferring your Rove miles to a partner loyalty program, be mindful that Rove cannot guarantee availability. So make sure that the flight that you want is available before you proceed with transferring your miles. That can't be undone once it's done. However, Rove does make that very easy for you, as I will show. So Steve, we're gonna look at loyalty programs here, and I'm going to condense that just to miles and more for the sake of continuity, and we'll hit apply filters there. So let's just say I'm gonna go for this top example here. So if I'm content with economy,
Not with that
which I
miles
suppose
balance.
I am, for example's sake, you can see the transfer partner options here. So Aeroplan is also an option, but we can see that the value for miles and more is looking pretty good. So I'm going to select miles and more. You will be reminded, as you can see here, after selecting the program that you want to transfer to. So you'll see that the flight must be booked on a partner loyalty program through a miles transfer, and a reminder that you need to check availability. But like I said, Rove makes it easy for you. So right below that, you can see the flight that you selected, and then you can hit check availability like so.
I will also note, guys, you can see here that although the flight does cost 1,300 miles, we do have a minimum transfer of 2,000 miles. And that's usually not an issue. Miles and More tends to be the only program you'll probably ever see where you'll actually have to transfer more than you would need, because you can get like those 88-mile flights, which is a silly price. But yeah, we do a 2,000-mile minimum, and then it's in 100-mile increments, which, again, if anybody has any knowledge of points and miles, that's crazy for us to do it in such low increments. At best, you'll usually find 1,000-mile increments or point increments. And I think Qantas on Amex does 500, and that's it. But yeah, so we've got a medium threshold and a very, very incremental version of transferring. So just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah. Yep.
That's a very good point. Thank you. So we'll move to the next page where you can see what Carissa was saying. It's the minimum of 2,000 to transfer, and those extra miles will live on your partner program. So they will not disappear even if the value is less than what you're transferring. You can also use your own miles that you already have, should you prefer.
So that you can calculate how many Rove miles you actually need to transfer. So if that's checked, you can see right down there, type in 100 miles and more miles, and then that'll subtract how many Rove miles you actually need to transfer.
Cool. So you can hybrid transfer and supplement with your existing balance. And yeah, so I'm not going to move on to the next page because I'm not wanting to transfer my miles at this time. However, just to paint a picture, when you move to that next page where it says proceed to booking, that is taking you to the website of the partner loyalty program. So you're going to be logging into your account, selecting the award flight that you chose or that you were viewing on Rove, and then completing the redemption there. So the partner program is the one issuing your ticket, and also the confirmation will come from them rather than Rove. We'll check out hotels now. So many of you probably are aware of this, but we have really high multipliers on a lot of our hotels. So up to 25x, but we have seen as high as 50x in the past. So kind of just want to watch for exciting multipliers there. There are a lot of search features that I'll go over, but first, let me clarify the distinction between the two ways that you can book a hotel through Rove. That's loyalty eligible or Rove rate bookings. So loyalty eligible, simply put, allows you to connect your booking to a hotel program. So that could be Marriott, Bonvoy, Hilton Honors, World of Hyatt, just to name a few popular ones. And this means that you can earn hotel points and enjoy your elite status benefits on top of earning the Rove miles that you would get on a stay, which for loyalty eligible is a flat rate of 5x Rove miles per $1 spent. And then also whatever rewards that you may earn using your preferred credit card to pay. So this is pretty freaking exciting because prior to Rove, you'd have to book directly with the hotel chain to earn or take advantage of loyalty benefits. So booking with a third party historically was a trade-off because you might save some money, but you wouldn't earn hotel points or receive anything to do with your elite status. So Rove is the first third party that offers it all without having to make any of those sacrifices. And again, you can triple dip on earnings. So Rove miles on your booking, hotel points, and then stack those rewards with your credit card that you use to pay. And it's also worth noting that on loyalty eligible bookings, the hotel is the merchant of record. So you're booking through Rove, but the hotel charges your card directly. I guess pun intended. If you play your cards right,
actually...
is what I was going
to say. Oh, no, I was going to say, like, for example, that means that if you pay with, like, the Hilton Aspire card, you're going to be getting, like, I want to say it's 14x Hilton points per dollar spent, in addition to whatever benefits that you get. So, yeah, if you play your cards right.
Yeah, with co-branded credit cards, you absolutely want to be strategic. So, like Carissa said, if you're staying at a Hilton property, if you have the Hilton Honors Amex Surpass card, then you might also be able to use your quarterly statement credit, which is $50 quarterly, to reduce out-of-pocket costs even more. I also did write a how-to guide on booking loyalty eligible stays with Rove, and you can find that on our blog, as well as Carissa's explanation about what it all means. Rove rates, which we're putting the spotlight on now, are still a great option. I would say primarily for our members who want to maximize on Rove miles earnings or potentially get a better price rather than maximizing benefits overall with a hotel loyalty program. For example, if you're looking at a property that you don't have a membership with, then Rove rate is the option that makes more sense. Also, again, loyalty eligible bookings earn a flat rate of 5x Rove miles per $1 spent, whereas Rove rate bookings are the ones that offer up to 25x. We've seen as high as 50x, so it's definitely the best way to get far more miles for your stay. And then also, yeah, depending on the property and dates, it might be the cheaper option or the only option if the property is not loyalty eligible. Another perk to note about Rove rate bookings is that if you book a non-refundable Rove rate stay, you will earn your miles immediately after booking. You don't have to wait till checkout. So you could strategically book your non-refundable Rove rate hotel first, maybe even opting for a miles boost to get more miles, which I will show in my example. And then you can see those miles on your account instantly, and you could then book your flight using the miles that you just earned and that just posted to your account. That's just for non-refundable, but that's a great strategy if you're not going to cancel.
I also want to say that adding on to that, it's a great strategy. If, for example, because Rove keeps launching new hotel partners or new airline partners, and we try to launch them with bonuses, and just in general, we try to do as many transfer bonuses as possible. Unlike sort of a credit card where you're maybe waiting for your statement to close, depending on which card it is, in order to get your sign up bonus with Rove. We launch a new partner, and you can that same day, say, oh my gosh, like I really want to book whatever thing and have the transfer bonus. You can book your non-refundable Rove rate hotel, instantly get your miles, and then take advantage of the transfer bonus. So it is just being strategic and keeping aware that that's something that you're not going to find with other programs at all. I'm going to address this question in the chat right here. John says, I love booking hotels through Rove and haven't had a problem thus far, but I've always found it odd that Rove doesn't provide a booking confirmation in case the hotel cannot find the reservation. We only provide a Rove booking reference, but it's not helpful if you show up to the hotel and have a problem with the reservation. Why doesn't Rove provide a booking confirmation number? And I'm glad you brought that up, because I have actually brought that up myself. And the long and the short of it is that when a third party does a booking, we all have our own internal confirmation systems. And that is just the way that we process it. When someone asks us, for example, for a Hilton confirmation number, that's not something that we have literally at hand. We have our own, and then we have to go through our own systems, ask for the Hilton number, which is why we don't have it instantaneously to give to you. And then once we get that back, we're able to pass it forward to you. It's the way that third parties work. It's going to be the same thing with Expedia. It's going to be the same thing with Agoda, et cetera, et cetera. At least as far as I'm aware, that's what's going on. And that's why. It's just because we operate. It's like asking, I don't know, American Airlines why they don't have the same confirmation number as Alaska Airlines, even though you've booked an Alaska flight using American's website. We just operate on two different systems. So, go ahead, Lauren.
You should not have an issue just providing the name or names of the guests and the dates of your stay. However, you're always welcome to message member support and have that provided to you. If that's
Lauren, in the
not
chat here,
getting
John
you
says, thank you,
anywhere,
but what
of
makes me
course.
nervous is that Rove doesn't have telephone support should a problem arise. And I think Lauren is exactly the person to talk about that, because she works a lot with member support and member experience. So about how we deal with anything that comes up.
We absolutely prioritize time-sensitive matters. So while we do primarily provide support through chat or through email,
Like an urgent.
if we receive an urgent message of any kind, then that will always be the priority that we will address. So, for example, if you are at the hotel and for whatever reason they can't use all of the related information to your booking, like the names of the guests, the dates of your stay, I personally have never had an issue with it. But if for whatever reason they can't find your booking or anything to do with that, chat, we have member support staff available around the clock. So you will hear back from us, and we would escalate that immediately and get in touch with the hotel. So, okay, if we're going to just look at the basic search functions here, I've selected New York as my example again. In the top right here, we can sort by your preference, so price, by rating, by miles earned, by multipliers. On the left here, you can use this map to select your preferred hotel based on a particular area that you might want to stay in the city. So that's a great way to narrow down your options without having to use Google Maps or something to try and understand where these different properties are located in the city. And then as you scroll down here, if you know exactly which property that you'd like to stay at, you can enter the hotel name. This is an important function that I'm going to come back to, but this is how you can show only properties with hotel loyalty benefits. You can customize your search by price range, cash or miles, quick filters like Wi-Fi, parking, breakfast, by rating, by facility features. by types of properties, so hotels, all-inclusive. If you're really trying to save money, hostels or motels are also there. You can curate your results by the type of experience. So if you're planning a honeymoon or something, this might be a great one to select. And then, of course, if you have accessibility needs, this will tailor your results to show those properties that are accessible as well. So let's go back up to loyalty eligible. If you turn on this toggle, it's going to, well, first of all, you can more precisely choose the specific program you'd like here as well. But for today, let's just say that I'm selecting this top option here. So you'll see by turning on the loyalty eligible toggle, all of these properties that are showing up are eligible based on their various programs. So let's choose Waldorf Astoria. Okay, so this is going to first show you property details like photos, reviews, details. One thing to keep in mind is that the photos for any given property are provided to us by our hotel providers. So if you want to verify the specifics of the room that you're selecting, always make sure to read, I'll give an example here, the room details down at the bottom. So this is the important part that I want to go over here, selecting a room. When a property is not loyalty eligible, you will not see these two categories, which is Rove rates and Hilton Honors eligible. But at this property, you have the option for loyalty eligible rooms or Rove rate as categorized under these two headers. So if you want to book loyalty eligible, you need to make sure that you are selecting this header.
Matt says, are hostels new or have they always been there? And are vacation rentals somewhere in the future? So I believe hostels have always been there. It's just based on whether or not they're available in the city that you're searching. And in the past, I still find them every once in a while. In the past, we did have some vacation rentals that did show up on our platform. The issue with having vacation rentals on a site like Rove, for example, is that oftentimes, obviously, a vacation rental or like an Airbnb style property is not going to have like a check-in desk or anything like that. And there can be a bunch of issues when it comes to us trying to convey information to you. For example, if like the host, because it's a vacation rental, doesn't tell us that there's like a logbox and a code and doesn't pass it on. And then obviously we don't have the information to give to you. And then there's no check-in person. It causes a lot of issues. So we do our best to actually try and keep vacation rentals off of our platform right now. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do like a, I don't know, a Rove X Airbnb. That'd be cool. But yeah, that's why it's not on there right now, is to help mitigate issues for anybody who either unknowingly books a vacation rental or books one and then ends up not being able to contact the property or the host itself.
Yeah, so I was just stressing that just because, and this is an issue that we've seen a lot, just because the property offers loyalty eligible rooms, that doesn't mean that every rate offered at that property is loyalty eligible. So it's very important that you take a second to select the correct header. And obviously, if you prefer Rove rates, you can always go back and forth and see what the best option is for you based on your needs for that stay. But again, if you select a room under Rove rates, it will not be, or that booking I should say, will not be connected to your hotel loyalty program account, and you will not receive hotel points or elite benefits on your stay, which might not matter to some, but if it does, it's an important distinction. So yeah, take a look at the room details of whatever you're selecting for Rove rate bookings or loyalty eligible. You will have the option to pay by cash or using miles. What I meant to also say when I was going over flights is that only with flights you have the option to pay using a combination of miles and cash. That's exclusive to flights, but that's something to be mindful of if you're wanting to pair the two currencies, if you will. So let's say that we're choosing this room here. And again, loyalty eligible is always going to be at a flat earning of 5x. Another way to tell what you're booking You will know that it's loyalty eligible when you are prompted to enter your account number. A Rove rate booking will not prompt you to do this, and that's how you know that it's not going to be linked to your account. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Let's say for flights, the rate of earning is 1x miles per dollar spent. So let's say that your flight costs $150, for example, you would be getting 150 miles as your baseline for that purchase. But you can opt to pay a small amount extra to get a miles boost, which goes in, I believe, 3x, 5x, and 10x are the options. And for 10x, for example, you'd suddenly be earning 1,500 miles on that same booking rather than 150. If you are eager to have more miles for a certain redemption that you're wanting to take advantage of,
I would
then that's a
also
great way
like to add for Miles Boost, and I'm not
boost
sure how often this is coming up for people, but we're only able to do Miles Boost on flights and on Rove rate hotels, and that's because it's the places where Rove is the merchant of record. So if it's a loyalty eligible hotel, obviously the hotel is charging our credit card and not us, so we can't do a Miles Boost for you.
Thank you for clarifying that as well. Okay, so lastly, not least, we can take a look at Rove shopping. So again, we have over 13,000 stores to shop from. They all have unique offers and multipliers, and you can shop by clicking through the portal on our website, or you can shop using the Chrome extension. So some merchants may be available through the Rove shopping portal, but not through the browser extension. The offers can also vary between Rove shopping and the extension, so that's something to keep in mind. It won't always be the case because when our new extensions launch, hopefully sooner than later, the offers will be the same across the board. Is that right?
Yeah.
But for now, it might be worth a few extra seconds of your time if you have the extension to compare offers before you check out. The important thing is making sure that your purchase tracks. So the merchant or the store ultimately is the one who determines whether a purchase qualifies, and tracking generally follows a last click wins model, which means that another rewards portal, coupon site, browser extension, an external link, or some other like card linked offer might overwrite Rove. And common tracking issues that we see a lot are rejected cookies, if you have ad blockers activated or privacy tools of some kind, if you have competing extensions, if you're switching devices or sessions before completing your transaction, or clicking another external link before purchasing, all of those things can cause your transaction to not be tracked. So for the best chance of successful tracking, you should, if you're on the extension, activate Rove before you shop. Make sure that you're accepting cookies, you're disabling competing tools, only using approved coupon codes, and you'll want to look at the offer terms and general terms for each store. And you also want to complete the purchase in one session on the same device. So when you shop, if you scroll down here to where it says my recent shopping trips, you're going to look for a click. So with both of these examples in my recent trips, you can see that I have 2 clicks. This indicates that I clicked through Rove shopping to access the website of the merchant, but I did not complete a transaction. Once you have made a purchase by clicking through Rove, your transaction should show under this shopping trips as pending. And when I mean clicking through, I mean, let's say that we're shopping on Etsy. You are going to click shop online, and then you are going to, without leaving that page, without switching things around in any way, you are going to go directly to that site through clicking through Rove and complete your transaction there. The banner next to each merchant is going to display the best offer or the best multiplier, but you do want to make sure that you're looking at the terms. So that offer is for new customers. Existing customers will have a lower multiplier. Make sure you're checking what the exclusions are and read the general terms as well. It'll show as pending, once you've completed your purchase, and that means that your transaction was recognized, but it has not yet been approved. So Miles, again, will post once the merchant confirms the eligible commission, which that can take up to 100 days after it shows as pending. Unless your purchase was an event or a flight or a hotel booking or a train ticket, anything that is an event like that, the clock on your miles would start after said event has passed, or for a hotel after checkout or after your flight is completed, etc. But if your miles are taking longer than expected, or if, for example, the transaction failed, but you believe that it should have been eligible based on the offer terms, you're going to want to submit a missing miles report, and I'll just quickly show how you can do that. So if I go to view all here on my recent shopping trips, let's say I wanted to dispute this click because I completed a transaction or something. So to access the report, you're going to hit the arrow next to the transaction that you would like to have investigated. It's going to review the information here, and then if you don't see the miles pending yet, or if there's another issue, you're going to click that link. If your miles are missing, or maybe you thought that you should have received more miles than what is displayed on your pending, you're going to check that you've waited at least 10 days since your purchase, which that is the pending window, and then you're going to continue to report. And that report is sent straight to the support staff, and they will escalate that to the merchant in question. And yeah, I think it's 7:51, so we could talk forever, but this is probably a good place to wrap it up. Also, so we don't stray too far from the basics. So I did just quickly want to mention before questions that we have a Rove meetup coming up at the end of August in Texas. One day in Austin and one day in Dallas, I believe. Carissa, do you want to quickly
come to the meetups,
pitch
guys.
for those who might not be aware?
So we have a Rove X Texas meetup, and I'm not actually sure which day it is in Austin, which day is in Dallas, just because there's a lot of travel involved. But the Rove Insiders Facebook group is where I tend to post all of the details of what we're doing and when. So go ahead and take a look in there. We do them fairly regularly. Matt says Austin's the 29th and Dallas is the 30th. Matt's coming, so thanks for helping us out. But yeah, so I post all the details in there. We exchange cool secrets. We meet cool people. We talk a lot about Rove and other things. So I highly recommend. Just in general. And if you want to join the Rove Insiders Facebook group, it's just called Rove Insiders, and you can search it and I'll approve you as long as you're not, a troll. Other than that, it's pretty good. Lauren, I do have one more question. And I don't even know if I know this off the top of my head, but maybe. Steve says he has a question back on hotels. If a user added a filter on a loyalty eligible program like World of Hyatt and then switches back to the map view, does the map show only Hyatt properties? I would think so. I would think so. Yeah, let's do a little live search.
Because I am unsure, let's just quickly check. Okay, so switch to loyalty eligible, and then expand map.
Like it's only, so it's only the loyalty program that you've searched.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Steve. Okay. Does anyone else have questions before we wrap things up? Don't everyone rush the comments at once. Okay.
You are also welcome to sit on what we've talked about today and go back, explore on Rove. If another question comes up, then again, the Rove Insider group is a great place to post that, and we will see it. Otherwise, socials, you can email support, which was at the bottom of the page here where it says contact by email. You can contact us that way as well, and I will see it and make note of it for future office hours.
Steve says status update on the iOS app. As soon as we can get it. That's all. As soon as we can get it, we will have the it's in beta right now, as is the Android app, and once it's fully ready, it will be rolling out, and that's literally as quickly as we can. So
I'm very excited. I mean, again, I already said this, but there's always so many new and exciting
yeah,
things
just wait.
happening with Rove.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot on the horizon that's exciting,
things to talk
so
about.
we'll definitely not be running out of topics to explore in office hours. I also think it's fun that I have an iPhone, Carissa is an Android user, so when the app is out for both, we
Yeah,
can do
sounds good to me.
demos together. And I will simply wrap up by saying thank you so much for taking the time to join us for our pilot episode webinar. I'm excited for more to come, but I really appreciate
Thanks,
everyone
guys.
who tuned in today. So thank you.
Bye.
All right. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.